What's up guys, how's it going? Obviously I've been gone for far too long. I have uni work and stuff like that, but it's not really a good enough excuse. But I am back now, and in a few days time I'm going to Australia for a few weeks with my family, and I thought what better opportunity than to show you guys what's inside my travel camera bag. So let's get into it. So obviously we'll start off with the cameras. Every trip I go on I take my Canon 700D. Obviously I prefer having a camera which is a DSLR, which is great for video and great for taking pictures, so the 700D is pretty much good enough for me. You have to make do with what you got, and I think it's actually a really good camera. I've had it for a couple of years now, so yeah, that's the first thing that will be inside my travel bag. Other cameras, GoPro, obviously I have the GoPro Hero 4 Black. Great action camera. You basically still get great video quality, 4K. You get 120 frames per second at 1080p. It's a great action camera. You really can't go wrong for the price. Go for the Hero 4 Black if you're gonna buy a GoPro. Right, lenses I take with me. Honestly, when I take lenses, I try to pack light. When you're out traveling, you're not really thinking about changing your lenses. So if I was brutally honest with you, I'd take a maximum 2 lenses. Obviously, everyone would love to take more lenses because you'd have a greater range to pick between. But honestly, I think that when you're out and about, visiting new places and doing adventurous kind of things, you honestly don't have time to switch your lens. And that's why I recommend taking a lens which has the largest range possible. Honestly, I take my Canon kit lens that I got with the camera. It's an 18 to 55, and what's great about it, it has a really good range, to be honest. It also has image stabilizer, which if you try and get in other lenses, it makes them so expensive. Silent autofocus, great for video, but also because it's so cheap, I'm less worried about breaking the camera lens and more worried about getting the actual shot, and I think that's really important. The other lens that I tend to take with me is the one I've got on the camera right now, and that is the 10 to 22mm lens. I love a good wide lens. Obviously it's kind of synonymous with the travel video kind of aesthetic. It's really good for obviously getting POV shots, but it's kind of like a vloggy style kind of lens, so that is why I take the 10 to 22mm lens with me wherever I go. Yeah, so that's lenses aside. In addition to cameras and lenses, there are also quite a few other pieces that I take with me. Obviously I take the Rode microphone for the camera, great for vlogging. It's just a great shotgun microphone, plugs straight into the camera, gets the audio you want, and it's so much better quality than the one that's built into the camera. As well as that, I also have all the GoPro accessories. I like to take the screen for the back of it so you can always check the clips you're getting. Obviously the Hero 4 Black doesn't have a screen built onto the back of it, so it's great to buy the screen and always check out and about if your clips are what you want, because you don't want to get back to your hotel or hostel and find out that the clips are just unusable. So I always bring the GoPro screen, underwater housing, all of the essentials. In addition to that, you don't really need much with the GoPro. A selfie stick you can buy for like what, £2-3, so it's always worth just getting a cheap one that you can take. I snapped my last one because it was so cheap. But just make sure you're not going to lose your GoPro just by having such a cheap selfie stick. The one that's snapping when you hit the water from a jump or something like that. You're going to want batteries for your cameras. It's really worth getting just the cheap, like non-brand batteries. Obviously they're nowhere near as good as the batteries that you can get for your DSLR and your GoPro. Obviously when a battery runs out, you don't want to be going somewhere to charge it. You want to be just getting another battery, putting it right in and getting back to shooting your trip, filming your trip. What takes priority is your trip, obviously. You don't want to stop traveling and having a great time in these countries just because you can't capture it. Definitely batteries is the #1 thing to get. SD cards, micro SD cards, you just can't get too many. Obviously you can have too many, but I'd recommend buying like 1 or 2 replacements for your SD card. If you run out of space, you're fine, you can keep going. If you get back to your hotel or hostel and don't have time to save your clips over, you've got one for tomorrow so that you don't have to delete clips. It's one of those things. Batteries and SD cards are the most important things to take in your travel bag. I've been interrailing around Europe, backpacking, and honestly there were times when I couldn't charge my camera overnight. Didn't have time to offload clips, so taking extra batteries and SD cards honestly saved my trip and helped to just go smoothly. So yeah, no brainer. If you're traveling for a short space of time and you're not planning to edit any of your photos or video clips, you don't really want to be taking a big bulky laptop with you, so you just want to kind of minimize the amount of kit you take. The one piece of kit that has been essential in my travel camera bag has been the WD My Passport 2. It is literally just a 2TB hard drive, which you need anyway, because I offload quite a lot of clips from my laptop to a hard drive when I'm traveling. What's great about this is it has an SD card slot on the side, so it eliminates you having to take a computer with you traveling, and it just offloads all the clips as soon as you plug the SD card in and saves them all on the hard drive just like that to archive all your clips, make sure they're safe. The best way to do that I've found is this SD card hard drive. Honestly, one of the best kits that I've ever bought for traveling. And one more tip that I'd add is keep the camera strap onto your camera. It helps so much when you've got backpacks and all these things, just to not have to hold it all the time. It also helps to get the steadiest shots, and I'll address that in another video of how to get really steady handheld shots. But apart from that, those are the bare essentials that I will take on every single trip. As well as those, I take a few other items which are also really essential. First off, a microfiber cloth. I can't stress this enough. Your camera lenses are going to get dirty so quickly because you're traveling around and it's more of a run and gun situation. So definitely take a microfiber cloth. You have to take it, otherwise your clips are just going to suffer. It's just a small little thing. Chuck it inside your camera bag, you can't go wrong. Clean lens, good clips, simple. Another essential thing that's always in my travel camera bag is a multi-plug adapter. When you go to different countries, they're obviously gonna have different plugs. It's such a hassle having so many plug adapters, so I get a plug thing, you know what I mean? So I only need one adapter for the country. Yeah, it just saves me buying loads of adapters or waiting for one thing to charge and then getting the next thing to charge. In addition to all of this, one thing that I always have in my camera bag is a pair of headphones. This is more for the travel side of things. When I'm traveling around with long plane journeys, long train journeys, things like that, I always make sure that I have a pair of headphones just to pass the time. My headphones of choice would be the Studio headphones that they recently sent to me. Honestly, they sent them to me and they said just tell us what you think. I can say whatever I want really, but honestly, having a pair of Bluetooth wireless headphones is essential for me. They're so small, so compact, so they're perfect for your travel bag. But also I don't like having wires like from normal headphones hanging around, because obviously I've got the camera around my neck and I have to think about all this other technology. It's nice just to have some headphones which are out of the way, but they're still really good quality sound. So honestly, Studio headphones, thanks for that. They're really going to help me out. Moving on to things that I sometimes take with me, sometimes not. It depends where I'm going, it depends how long I'm going for, and things like my drone. So I have the DJI Phantom 2. It's like a dinosaur now. It has no visual feedback, I fly it blind, but honestly, it's a drone and it gets me the shots that I want. I sometimes take it with me. Obviously it's a bulky thing. If I'm going to somewhere quite far away, I never really take it with me because it takes up a lot of space in my luggage. It depends how long I'm going for as well. If I'm doing a short trip, I'm gonna take less bags, so therefore I wouldn't really have the space for it. But honestly, when I do take it, the clips are unbelievable. Just make sure if you are taking your drone on a plane to check with your airline's rules on batteries, because obviously the lithium ion batteries that drones take these days, some airlines have different rules for them. So yeah, definitely worth taking a drone if you can. Other things that I might take with me would be things like a GoPro stabilizer, just a handheld stabilizer. Great piece of kit. Unfortunately, it is quite bulky and it does take up a lot of room and it needs charging and things like that, and it's more of a luxury than anything else. Handheld GoPro footage can sometimes be unusable, but as long as you plan what you're going to film, you don't really need a stabilizer. I normally don't take the stabilizer around with me that often. If I do, it's probably on skiing holidays where it's really essential that you have stabilization to get any sort of usable clip, but that's more of a luxury than anything else. Finally, another two things that I sometimes take with me but aren't really essential for going traveling is a camera tripod and what's called an intervalometer. So if you want to shoot any proper time lapses, you need what's called an intervalometer. It's just a little remote that plugs into your camera and it takes photos at certain intervals. That's how I shoot my time lapses. Some people say you can shoot video and speed it up. The file size for me is too big and it just doesn't give me enough control over my time lapses. So I like to take my time lapse remote with me to most places that I go. However, when shooting a time lapse, you kind of really need a tripod. The problem is tripods are always really bulky, so it's not really feasible taking a big tripod with you. For this, I suggest buying something like a GorillaPod. It's something that I'm looking into purchasing just so that I can get time lapses when I'm traveling, but I don't really want to take such a big bulky tripod with me. It takes up too much space. Obviously, you've got things like your chargers and all that. Try and pack light. I always put tags on my plugs so I know what's charging at what time, and I can keep on top of it and make sure that I'm as efficient as possible. That's what it's about when you're traveling, keeping your camera gear as minimal and efficient as possible, but to still get the best clips. So finally, moving on to probably the most essential piece of kit, the camera bag. So normally I take 2 bags. Normally I'll take a suitcase for things such as tripod, drone, and chargers and wires and all those things that won't really fit in my carry-on luggage. Things that I won't need at hand can be put away in my suitcase. As my backpack, I'll take just a normal camera bag. So my camera bag is great. It has 2 halves to it. One half I can dedicate to cameras and all of my kit, and the other half I can keep to things you'd have normally in like a backpack, like sun cream, sunglasses, things like that. I bought mine second hand, and I recommend that you do the same. Go to your local camera shop and ask them if they have any second hand bags. Honestly, you'll save so much money, probably half the price. Camera bags can go over like £100 these days. It's just ridiculous. I got mine for 40. You get some stains, they're a bit dirty, they've been used before. But honestly, when you're traveling, you don't really want to care about what state the camera bag is in. You just want it to make sure that it protects the kit that's inside it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. That was everything that I take inside my travel camera bag, from bare essentials like the cameras and stuff like that, over to just additional things like intervalometers, tripods, and other equipment that I don't always need, but I sometimes take with me when I'm traveling. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash the like button. Leave a comment down below of what you have in your camera bag and what I'm missing from my gear list, so you'll next see me when I'm in Australia, and hopefully I'll get some amazing clips from that trip. But in the meantime, have a great Christmas, and I will see you in the next one.